Usual intro, sorry for the lighting, blah blah blah, we don't care, we're just going to talk about some books.
Sophie Vlogs.
There is no theme to this. I got given book vouchers, so I bought some books. I wandered into a bookshop, so I bought some books. I read a lot. First up, The Gap in Time, Jeanette Winterson. I love me some Jeanette Winterson. Multiple videos on this channel talking about how much I love me some Jeanette Winterson. This one sounds really cool. Do you guys remember, like, when it was Shakespeare's, like, Death Day, like, loads of authors did, like, Shakespearean retellings? That's what this is. This is a retelling of The Winter's Tale. I studied The Winter's Tale in my first year of university, in my first term of university when I was but a youthful thing and didn't realise it. So it's one of those, you know, sometimes, like, a book or a play, like, epitomizes the time of your life, like, Winter's Tale is my first term of university, so I have like a fondness for it, like a little nostalgia. And I also bloody love me some Jeanette Winterson, so I thought, like, this is a pairing. This is a pairing I want to read more about. So, I'm gonna. After that, we have another good old favourite author, and that is Radiance by Catherine M. Valenti. I love Catherine M. Valenti. Only within memory did I rave about the Fairyland saga as one of my favourite book series of all time. Oh yes. Um, I've only ever read like her more like magic-y, fairy tale-y type things. This is sci-fi. I love me some good sci-fi. I love me some Catherine Valenti. I'm so intrigued to see what Catherine Valenti doing sci-fi is like. This seems very like Metropolis inspired to me. So I had a Valentine's Day book voucher, and so this was the gift I gave to myself with that, and I don't think I'm going to regret it at all. I am ridiculously excited for this. After that, we've got a double whammy. Two Mary McFarlane's. I might have all of her books now, I think. I just really like her. I did a whole video talking about how much I like her. She's just fun. I'm finding, because I'm doing most of my reading on public transport, I want things that are not too, like, dense to read, if you know what I mean. Because I'm, like, get a little bit of a headache sometimes. And I want to just, like, frippery sometimes. So, like, these guys. I'm so excited. I need to pace myself. I need to, like, put them down and not touch them for a while, because otherwise I'll have read all of them in, like, the space of 2 months, and then I'll have, like, nothing left. And it'll be very sad. But I couldn't resist, so I got them. After that, we have a book that has been on my to-read list for ages. That is Grim Tales for Young and Old by Philip Pullman. We've talked on this channel about how much I like fairy tale stuff. I'm not the only one. BookTube is fond of it. At this very moment when I want to talk about it, the name of the BookTuber has just gone from my brain. But they've talked about this, and they've said how great it is, and I lodged it away, and oh, Jen Campbell! Fucking hell, Soph. That took you a while. She said it's really good. I like her taste in books in general, so when I saw it, as you can probably see, for £2 in the British Heart Foundation bookshop, I picked it up. I am sort of having, like, you know how you have multiple books on the go, a la, like, Rory Gilmore, so you have, like, fiction, poetry, like, non-fiction, that sort of thing. My, like, standard at the moment is I have a non-fiction, I have a fiction, and I have some form of fairy tale or folk tale thing, which for the last few months has been Kevin Crossley Holland, Tales of the British Isles, because I'm reading it very slowly, because I'm mainly reading my fiction, because I just get taken up in it. But this is probably going to be, like, waiting in that queue. You know, like, you have separate book queues. This is going in that one. Got a little bit more sci-fi for you all, which is How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe by Charles Yu. I picked this up because of the cover, because I thought, ooh, that's, like, slightly grabbing. And then I read your little inside page, and it's kind of like Charles is a time machine repairman. And he's like going through time, repairing time machines, obviously. He accidentally shoots a version of himself, and then obviously shenanigans ensue, because that's what happens when you fuck with the timeline. The timeline fucks with you. So this seems like it's gonna be funny. It seems like it's gonna be like quite an amusing science fiction read. And like I like that. That's my kind of cup of tea. I've mentioned before I want to read more sci-fi because I watch more than I read. So this is like sort of part of that attempt. Um, I don't know why I'm expecting it to be a bit like Hitchhiker's Guide, but for some reason I am. That could be unfounded. I might have just made like an assumption based on like packaging, but an assumption has been made, and we shall see if it is in any way correct. Finally, we're going to end on a little book, which is Show Me the Map to Your Heart and Other Stories by John Kai Douglas. I am a real sucker for like the types of like one-shot comic things that sort of look like this, that are a little bit like arty. Maybe they have like a couple of different stories. You know, like here are some examples of pages within this book. I just thought it was cute. I'll be honest, I saw the cover, I thought, that looks like my cup of tea, and I picked it up, and I bought it. That's all I can tell you. I'll do a review after I've read it. It won't take me long. It's little, but it's adorable. That's it, really. This was a shorter haul, I think. Less of a theme. I'm feeling less guilty about buying books again. Where I work is like not that far away from my house, but it's kind of a little bit rural, which means there are not many buses that go there, and when they do, they go there at very specific times and no other times. So I'm doing a lot of like hanging around waiting for buses, sitting on buses, and that sort of thing. So I'm feeling better about spending money on books, A, because I have an income, and B, because I have like a solid 2 to 3 hours a day where I know I can read. So it's being fun. I feel like this has been a great year for my reading, and I hope that's being reflected in these. I don't know. Give me your thoughts. Let me know if you bought some nice books lately. Just have a chatter. Hope all is good with you. And I will see you next week.